but right now in the studio I've got Mercedes Sarmini, who's looking like a flower herself. Welcome to the show, Mercedes.
What a lovely introduction. Thank you for having me again.
Indeed, we love having you. And today we're going to talk about those flowers that don't really like the cold so much, so tropical and exotic flowers.
Exactly. And, you know, to use the analogy so it makes sense to the listeners, you can't put an African in Antarctica. So what I'm trying to say is that not all cut flowers, when you're purchasing them from the florist, for example, should all go into the cool room or fridge.
Ah, yes, because florists have tricks up their sleeves.
We do.
Indeed. You probably visited your local florist or flower shop and noticed how fresh the flowers are always looking.
Yes.
But maybe towards the back of the shop there's a fridge.
Yes.
Or a cool room of some
cool
kind.
room.
Cool room rather than a fridge.
A walk-in cool room.
Walk-in cool room. Some might have a walk-in cool room. Do you have a walk-in cool room in your...
I've got a fridge, but I used to have a walk-in cool room because now I just predominantly do workshops.
Okay.
So, and I'm mobile, so I get around. But back in the day when I did have the stores, yes, I did have a cool room. But what we're trying to convey to the listeners tonight is that not all cut flowers are meant to thrive in cooler environments, and they are the tropical / exotic cut flowers. And I've brought a handful of them with me this evening, and we've got the Dendrobium. So all orchids, so anything from the Orchidaceae family, is a big no-no to go into cooler environments or temperatures. I've brought the Missantherium with me as well. That is a big no-no to go into the cool room or fridge. Clivia is another cut flower that dislikes cooler temperatures. So if you are a florist or a consumer buying from a florist, this is a big no-no to see in the fridge. And if you do see it in the fridge, well, obviously your florist doesn't know her business quite well. I've got another two that I'm holding. We've got Miss Bird of Paradise. This is another cut flower that dislikes cooler temperatures, so it is classified under the category tropical / exotic. And this looks a bit like an alien, doesn't it?
It is. I know what that is. It's that tropical ginger.
It is, certainly. And as you
beehive
can see,
ginger, actually.
Beehive,
yeah.
Indeed. And as you can see, once you start seeing the seeds develop, that's a sign of aging. And with Miss Anthurium and Miss Beehive Ginger and Mr. Dendrobium, believe it or not, if you then put them upside down and soak them into water for a minimum of 15 minutes, and if you wanted to overnight, this is the best way for them to drink, because they also drink from their petals. If you want to extend life. And every second day, in upright position, as you can see there, because we're filming,
yes,
mist it every second day to keep it moist.
Wow. Of course, you know your business. And I actually went to a commercial cut flower site in Far North Queensland.
Yep.
And they pretty much saying what you're saying, and they say never refrigerate tropicals.
Yes. No.
Nothing below 13 degrees.
Indeed.
In fact. So that would mean not that we have our houses at 13 degrees, but, you know, a direct air from the air conditioner.
Air conditioning is a big no-no if you are wanting to enjoy exotic tropical cut flowers. And I've brought the list with me tonight, so let's go through the list for the listeners. Mr. Vander Orchid, Miss Anthurium, Hanging Heliconia, Miss Bird of Paradise, we've just demonstrated that. Flowering Ginger is another. Cymbidium Orchid, Oncidium, and Frangipani is a tropical cut flower. So that's a big no-no. Lobster's Claw, Blood Lily, Cattleya Orchid, Mr. Lotus is a big no-no to go into cooler environments. Torch Ginger, isn't that delightful? That's so gorgeous to look at.
A lot of the gingers are beautiful, very ornamental looking.
And there's a lot of them up north.
Of course.
And they just grow everywhere.
Yeah.
In the wild. Mr. Alstroemeria is another one that you can't put amongst cooler temperatures. Miss Red Hot Poker.
I'm so surprised by that.
So that's a big no-no as well.
Wow.
And Mr. Costus is another one.
Costus barbatus. That's kind of like a gingery looking thing. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the list, well, part of the list.
Yes.
And if you want to learn more Floral Gossip, the book comes out next year, early next year, and we'll be discussing tropical cut flowers and a lot more.
Okay. Now, I guess another way to keep them fresh in your house, other than have the air conditioning on full blast, is to recut the stems
every second day.
Every second day.
And especially with Miss Bird of Paradise, if you cut your stems every second day, they can last anywhere between 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah,
So cut flowers, if you know what you're doing, have a lot of kilometres out of them, and they're very good value for money.
Right, well there we have it. That's welcome once again, Mercedes, for coming in and giving us all this lovely information about those tropical and exotic flowers, and it certainly was a surprise to me. I was surprised about Clivias, Alstroemeria, and the red hot pokers. Wow.
Yeah, I saw your face when I mentioned that.
I went, oh gee, but they grow in colder climates, don't they? Oh.
But they prefer hot temperatures.
Wow,
they like it hot.
They like it hot. Once again, Mercedes, thanks for coming in and talking to Real World Gardener.
Always a pleasure.